Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. Here we go again. A quick video. Today, the video is about this guy, Bashir Abdul Haqq. You can see him in this video holding money like he's a little kid, right? And then, I'm just gonna start. So here's the story. I reached out to this guy who I think he was born a Christian. I saw a photo of, I think it's his dad as a Christian preacher. So maybe he was born as a Christian. He told me that in 2000, he met Azhar Haneef and he converted to Ahmadiyya. He didn't read no books. He didn't do no study. He didn't do any of that. And that's what I'm going to talk about. So I reached out to him, like maybe it was 6 months ago, a few months ago. Um, I think I saw him on Facebook. So I reached out to him and I was like, hey, with love and respect, hey, let's talk, et cetera, et cetera. So I think I sent him my phone number. And then I remembered him from 2017. He had a video in 2017, and I couldn't figure out if he was Ahmadi or not because he claims to be an imam. Now, he's not an imam in the Ahmadiyya movement. That's a lie. Or maybe he's using that phrase loosely as someone who leads the prayer. I doubt he even leads the prayer. I've not seen this guy in any official Ahmadiyya videos, any official Ahmadiyya photos, nothing. Absolutely nothing. I don't see nothing on this guy. So it's real confusing what he is, and it seems like he comes from the black nationalism, and that's cool. Do whatever you do. In Islam, we're not racist. Islam is for everyone. In Islam, it's for white people, black people. I got friends in all demographics. I don't even look at the race. So So anyhow, he finally reaches. He calls me and he's like, "Oh, I got a bone to pick." I'm like, "What's the bone to pick?" He goes, "How did you go from believing that Isa al-Islam is dead to now believing he hasn't died yet?" And I'm like, "Oh, it's easy. Research. It's research work. You didn't know? You didn't know about the research work?" And then he just doesn't even have an answer for that. So I quickly realized he's a dinosaur. He's from the old school. So, um, a lot of these guys from the old school who don't use a computer, who don't have a computer in their house, how could their knowledge ever be at my level? It's all what they heard and what they remember. Well, I don't go off of what I heard and what I remember. I go off hard data. So this is the issue, and he won't admit to it. He even said something like he doesn't do Twitter fingers. Well, if he doesn't do Twitter fingers, that means he doesn't type. Like you didn't learn how to type on your phone? That was 10 years ago. So he's behind. He's been left behind. I don't know what job he does. I doubt he even has a job, honestly. It's unknown. He said he went to DeVry University and got a degree. So it's nothing. It's not comparable to what I've written over 2,200 essays on different topics of Ahmadiyya. And there's a few typos here and there because I rushed through it. This is not my best work. I just gave whatever I could give in the amount of time that I had. So as I'm talking to him, I'm like, "Have you heard of Sir Syed Ahmad Khan?" He says, "No." And I'm like, "Well, then why do you believe that Isa al-Islam is dead if you don't know about Sir Syed Ahmad Khan and the colonists and the British and the Suez Canal and the Wahhabi movement and Saudi Arabia?" I just didn't understand a lot of this stuff that he's talking about. Oh, and we got some comments. All right. So you know what? And I also forgot to send out the StreamYard link. So let me send this out. I'm gonna post it on Facebook too. Uh, um, and this is gonna be a funny story. This is gonna be a funny one. So okay, I just posted it on Facebook, the StreamYard link. Let me post this over here also. Um, right, and I'm also gonna tweet it out so the brothers know like what I'm up to. But really, this is like a solo video. Um, so okay, posted it here, there, a few more places. Oh, and let me just turn this camera off so I can cough. All right, and I put the link on the screen so everyone can see it for your Friday night entertainment. If you were bored, so I was in the middle of explaining my recent spat with Bashir Abdul Haqq, and it's actually funny. You know, this guy's a funny guy, and I'm gonna explain it all. And I just got to sign into Twitter real quick. Hope I did that right. Yep, and it's posted. It's posted on Twitter. It's posted on Facebook. It's posted in these messaging in all the WhatsApp groups. Okay, so let's see. Let me just go back. Um, don't know who this is. Who are you, brother? I'm in the middle of an explanation, but I got some time. How's it going? Are you there?
Yeah, hello.
Hello. How's it
Hey,
going?
what's up, man? How you doing, bro?
I'm chilling, bro. I'm big chilling.
Okay, man. It's been when it's been a minute. I've been listening to you, bro. I'm from up north. I'm not gonna say where, cause I don't know where these Mirzais might catch up to me. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, you gotta watch them too, man. You gotta watch them. They're desperate. They'll do anything.
yeah, man. You know what's scary, bro, is like a lot of people, especially in this community, don't realize that the foundations of this entire community is based off British intelligence, because at that time, most people don't realize is that at that time there was a Muslim mutiny against the British government, right?
In
And
1857,
that's
absolutely.
right. And it wasn't even just India and Pakistan, bro. It was all over the world. The British were introducing this blasphemous thinking along the Muslim community. They were introducing all this shit. Look what happened in Saudi Arabia, bro. They introduced Wahhabism. You know, this is a big thing, and I don't understand why these people can't comprehend it. And I understand why, bro, because Bashir, bro, you grew up in America, bro, and I grew up somewhere around here. I'm not gonna say where, but you know what I'm saying. Like we feel them, bro, because like these people, like like young guys like us, bro, they get them in with the basketball, they get them in with the brotherhood, they get
Yeah.
them in with marriage, they get them in with different businesses, introduce them young, get them hungry, get them greedy. And once they're past that money stage, bro, they're like, okay, you know what? Even if it's a lie, I'm not going back because I ain't losing my stuff.
Right, totally. So I bump into this guy, Bashir Abdul Haq, because I saw some of his videos. He claims he's an imam. He's not an imam. He's been lying about that. So I asked him, "Hey, have you read about Sir Syed Ahmad Khan?" He says, "No." I'm like, "But why would you believe Jesus is Allah Salam is dead? Astaghfirullah, and you haven't read Sir Syed Ahmad Khan? He's the key to the case." He's
That's
like,
right.
well, so I find out he's an old school dinosaur. You know, someone just told him these things, and he didn't double check. He just believed what he was told.
Hey,
Which,
Bashir, sorry to cut you off, bro, but I have like, I went to Rabba, bro, and Mahmoud Shah recently with his Nida case and whatever.
yeah,
It's interesting because everybody in Rabba knows that Mahmoud Shah is a gangster crook.
gangster,
Like, like even his company, Mashoom, Mashoom, is it Mashoom?
Mashoom.
That's right. Yeah. So this guy got the entire thing on a monopoly, bro. Like my some one of my relatives was telling me that the apples they used to make that Shizan juice, man. I love that. I'm not gonna lie. I love that shit. I love that juice.
Yeah.
Um, but the apples they used to make that juice, bro. This guy, what he does is he brings in the fresh apples, makes the juice, and then right after, bro, he sells the dirty apples to the poor. You know what I mean? So
Do you see it on the screen?
yeah, I see it, brother.
That's the one. Yep. This is what they're doing. The Ahmadiyya movement is a front for their personal businesses, for their personal, all the stuff that they got going on. This is the front.
That's right, bro. I feel you, bro. You know what's scary, bro? Is that a lot of my homies, like, my lingo, I grew up here this year, so I know rest of your
Oh, it's
audience may
good.
not feel me, bro, but like,
Let it flow, brother. I feel it. Just let it flow.
yeah, man, lo, I'm saying like it's scary because a lot of my homies they're Ahmadi too, but I left that shit a long time ago. But a lot of these people, they know the truth, bro. They know it's a lie, but they can't leave this community, bro, because they get outcasted. Their relatives don't talk to them anymore. And I don't need to tell you, bro. Like, you know what I mean? I know your story, bro, and it's scary, man. These people destroy people's lives, bro.
Totally, man. They tried with me since I was a little kid, but Allah was with me, so it didn't work. It almost worked, but they ruined my brother's life, my other brother, and that's the cycle. If you disagree, they're gonna try to ruin your life.
Yeah, I've been thinking about this, bro. Is like, cause I talked to a lot. I used to have a lot of arguments with a lot of these Andy guys, and it's scary because, man, like they only, like, especially when it comes to hadith. Like, I'm not the most religious guy, bro, but I know logic and common sense, bro. Because, Bashir, we grew up in the streets, bro. Like, you know what I mean? So, like, when we see a lie, when we see a man lie, we know, okay, this man is lying. Okay, fine. If he's telling the truth, let's find out why he's telling the truth. And
Right.
a lot of times, man, like, you tell these guys, like, okay, look at this hadith. Like, this is going totally against your belief. Okay, well, this doesn't go with the Quran, so we're not gonna believe it. We'll go pick up another hadith that makes us look better, so that way we can prove our point.
Right. Right. That's exactly what they do, brother. It's out of control. No worries though. So can you stick around? Let me just finish the story
Yeah,
about.
bro. Yeah, bro. I'm gonna go now, but I'll come back later if that's cool, bro.
Yeah, for sure, bro. Whatever you want to do, bro.
Okay. Okay. Allah Hafiz, brother.
Yep, I just had to cough real quick. So, okay, back to Bashir Abdul Haqq. So he's lying about being an imam. He probably lied about going to college. So back to the story. So I asked him, "Have you read about Sir Syed Ahmad Khan?" He says, "No." "Have you read how Imam Malik believed that Isa al-Islam died the death of sleep?" And the Ahmadiyya movement twisted that and said, "No, he said he died. He said he died." Well, but he's saying the death of sleep. Like, how come you guys aren't explaining this properly? You know, and then he said no, he doesn't know. So then I'm like, okay, wait, what about Ibn Abbas? Do you know what Ibn Abbas said about chapter 3, verse 55? He goes, no, he doesn't know. So I'm like, bro, so you're old school dinosaur, pretending to be an imam. Then I said, hey, do you know that Mirza Ghulam Ahmad, he never led a Khutbah Juma? He said no. I said, do you know he had little girls massaging him all night? He said no. Right, and then all of a sudden he goes quiet. This is maybe 4 to 6 months ago. So a few weeks ago, I posted on his Facebook page again, hey man, let's have a discussion. So I don't do debates. I'm not here to make anyone believe anything. I don't care. I don't care for subscribers. I don't care for nothing. You want some information, I'll get you the information. That's all I'm here to do. So okay. So then a few weeks ago, he says, "Yeah, the Jamaat approved." He calls me after I think I might have posted on his Facebook page. He says, "Yeah, the Jamaat said it's okay. I can do it, but because I wrote 6 things." He said, "I'm not going to talk about Nida al Nasser. I'm only going to talk about the death of Isa, alleged death of Isa al Islam." I was like, okay, uh, Then he said some guy was going to moderate it or something like that. I don't exactly remember. Oh, we got some bros in here. Rumsey, what's going on, brother?
Yo, what's
Okay.
up, folks? Now, what's up? What's up, Bashir? Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah.
Walaikum salam, brother. So I told people because of Razi, because Razi and other Ahmadis have attacked every single Muslim scholar in the history of the world and wrote exposed, I'm going to do it for every Ahmadi I come into contact with. And I told him I was going to do it. I told him to stop doing it, because I'm going to do it to you. And they cried about it because I did some people that they liked, and they cried. So I bumped into this other guy, and Bashir
Makes sense.
Abdul Haqq, who claims to be an imam. He's not an imam, and he cussed at me today. He called me an MFer because he got
Obviously.
frustrated. So I told him I was going to do the video. He was supposed to do the video with me. We're supposed to do this video on the alleged death of Isa al-Islam. And what about the rape case? Ahmadiyya's full of rapists. Can you talk about that? He said he couldn't talk about it. And I was like, wait, so you're a black nationalist and you're letting some Pakistani people tell you what to do? How ironic is that? How that makes no sense. So I watched some of his videos and they accused him of the same thing. They're like, you believe in Mirza Ghulam Ahmad? Look. Okay, right here. Let me share the screen. and I'll play a quick quote. So here's a video.
I'm a black man. I have this motherfucker here is better than the honorable Elijah Muhammad.
Whoa, what's up with this guy?
The black man is God. Huh?
This guy's
But
upset.
you're trying to bring this image to us. Now I'm going in on your weak ass, nigga.
Okay, so that's a big graphic, but dude went in on him, the same sort of stuff.
He's upset. He's clearly upset.
He's upset. He's like, you're talking about a black nationalism and the nation, but a Pakistani guy wearing a funny hat or whatever, who's a rapist, who tells his granddaughter or his niece that, hey, no, you need 4 witnesses for rape. Where?
Oh, man. Oh boy.
Where is it written anywhere that you need 4 witnesses for rape? It's all based on circumstantial evidence. That's it. If the rape just happened, and you could see, and the woman is running out of her tent, or she was on the way to pray and she got attacked, and so the prophet heard, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and maybe that woman's a respectable woman who's never done anything wrong. He took her testimony only and said, no, she doesn't lie, right? So anyhow, I asked him if he had read stuff, and I just want to share information with the guy. That's all I want to do. I'm not here to convince or convert.
Doesn't seem open to it.
Yeah, doesn't. So as I'm talking to him, he admits that he's playing chess. I'm like, why are you playing chess? This is not chess. Muslims don't.
He's so confident.
We don't engage in that. It's here's the information, here's the references. If you care, then you care. If you don't, then you don't. Hatamallahu ala qulubihim. If they don't believe, their eyes are sealed, their ears are sealed. It's not a big deal. We don't lose sleep at night if someone doesn't agree with us. So as I'm talking to the guy, and hey, let me put his picture back up, and maybe he'll do a video with me, trying to clarify all of this. So he wouldn't speak about justice for Nita at all. He was like, no, can't do it. His Jamaat handlers told him no. And then so the comment he gives is, why are you giving half of information? What we hear is only half the information. Well, Razi went to ask Zad and Sheikh Qasim and made it look like Sheikh Qasim said it was okay to drink beer. He basically took his information, twisted it, and made the guy look bad when he knew it was wrong. So what are these guys talking about? They've done that to me. They've done that to over hundreds of ex-Ahmadis. And we're not saying he's guilty. We're just asking for answers. We don't know who's guilty or who's not guilty. We're just asking for answers. That's it. Give us an answer to this question. Oh, you don't want to answer it? Okay. Show us someone who might want to answer it. That's all we're asking. Okay. So what
That's
else?
quite interesting.
So what else did he say? He says, so as he's calling me, he says he doesn't do Twitter fingers. I'm like, well, brother, if you don't do Twitter fingers, then maybe you don't do typing fingers. Because, how hard? It's like the same thing. But if you're not on a computer in 2021 and doing research with a computer, you're lacking. Because your knowledge is only going to go so far. Even the Hadith transmitters had faulty memories. So instead of relying on your memory, now we have the ability to write things down and archive them and then show someone, hey, we already wrote about this. Here it is. I wrote about it 10 years ago. So I asked him, have you written anything? He said he wrote some books. I was like, which ones? Where are they at? Apparently you didn't type it. So, okay.
Hey, by the way, man, I actually had something quite interesting. I had a proposition, actually, if you don't mind. So, are you on Clubhouse?
I've been on Clubhouse in the past. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I've heard. Now, here's the thing. I've been hearing. I haven't seen it myself, but I've been hearing that there's a few Ahmadi snoops going around, hiding in the herd, like hiding in the cracks. You know what I'm saying, man? Now, here's the thing. we don't really have. No, to be fair, they don't have any club. As far as I'm aware, there might be actually, but there's no like sizable Ahmadi club on Clubhouse yet. I'm not jinxing anything, but right now the thing is, I think opening rooms on Clubhouse, if you ever got the chance, on Clubhouse, just calling them out, letting them know, because people aren't really aware of them. And the thing is, I've heard, I haven't seen it myself, so don't quote me on this, but I've heard they kind of like they're snakes, basically. You know what I'm saying? They hide in the bushes. They sneak up on you, and they just don't let go. You know what I'm saying? But they hide between they blend in. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I think, you know, calling them out on Club, because there aren't. I'll be to be frank, there aren't too many of them on Clubhouse, but they are there. They're definitely there. I've been hearing all about them, right? You know, so I think if, you know, we open rooms, and actually we actually do have some I actually do run some platforms, I help run some platforms on Clubhouse. You know, if you're ever interested in opening rooms about the Ahmadiyya, you know, just hit me up, let me know. I think you got my contact, right? So
yeah,
just hit me up. We can I can arrange it. It's no problem.
Sounds good, bro. I got you. And yeah, we will definitely do that. No worries. And I've been on Clubhouse and off Clubhouse, and then I've deleted the app and etc. So no worries. This is a funny comment, brother. This is my real hair, brother. I don't know. I'm Pakistani, but I think I have a brother who's balding. So I don't know. I have no idea. I drink a lot of water.
The only problem is, I think with my name, I hope people don't confuse me with Razi. If they could, that's going back to when we were doing this with Yemeni, remember?
Right. That
wasn't
fun. So check this out. My other brother, years ago, there was a thing called Pal Talk, and he used to pretend to be a Muslim, and then go into these groups and like try to like get in good with people.
Well, they're not gonna tell him, hey, I'm not Muslim. I actually, you know, like they're not gonna say that.
Yeah. So this guy is even worse than that. He's pretending to be an imam.
Oh man.
Now the definition of imam is if you're on the payroll.
Ooh.
Honestly. Now you could be the imam of Salat, of Maghrib, you know what I mean? But I don't even think he's doing that. You know,
no, you can be like the imam of a masjid, like it's official, like, you know, like you actually like you dedicate your life going there every day to the salah. You know, that takes time and energy. That's fine, but like if you gotta be legit though.
You gotta be legit. So this guy is not an imam in the Ahmadiyya movement at all.
Oh, not even an Ahmadi movement.
Not in, and that's a kufr in the Ahmadiyya temple. He's not an imam.
So he's not even a fake imam. He's not an imam in any sense.
He's not an imam at all. Period.
Any sense, yeah.
We've never heard him recite the Quran.
Yeah.
So he's just pretending. So let me finish the story. So anyhow, I asked him if he went to college. He got mad. Apparently he went to DeVry and he wouldn't tell me. And he was like, "Why are you asking?" I'm like, "Well, you know everything about me. You know I have a doctorate. You know I was in the Air Force, because all these guys have told him. I'm just asking about you. Now, what did the college help me do? Compare and contrast information. You know, I can go to Google and Wikipedia and look something up with 10 sources and figure out what's accurate and what's not accurate. For example, I read a beautiful essay by a brother on Twitter about rape. So I read it. There's no references. I'm like, bro, I can't even use this. Like, why would you not put the references in? You can hyperlink them. It's really that easy. So that's the part I keep bringing up to this guy is the homework. You know, one thing is knowing your stuff from oral tradition. The second part is if you did the homework and you've typed it up, you know, which we know a lot of people haven't done. I've written 2,200 essays. I've wasted years of my life on Ahmadiyya, on writing about Ahmadiyya, from history, politics, global politics, asylum, the death of Eisa, alleged death of Eisa al-Islam. You know, I'm at 2,200. You know, so I'm telling this guy, here's my resume. What's your resume? You know, I just want to know, because if we're going to have a discussion, I want to know who I'm talking to. You know, so he wouldn't tell me.
Interesting.
Yeah, and so I'm just baffled by he never gave a speech at a Jalsa. There's no pictures of him with the Ahmadiyya movement at all. Period. Right? So at that point, I gave him my dad's phone number. I'm like, call him. Here, bro, I'll give you everyone's phone number. You know, you think I'm here to hide something? You know, and so I told him I'm from the streets. Well, what that means is not that I engaged in selling drugs and pimping and prostitution, but I grew up there. Now, I was repulsed by all of it. I thought it was stupid. I thought joining a gang was absolutely stupidity. Why would I join a gang and work for a guy who's an idiot? It was never going to happen, right? So I never saw a drug dealer who was successful. I never saw a pimp who was successful. And the pimps are just the lowest of the low. If you are a pimp or were a pimp, you're the lowest human being. Who would ever? I'm not even sure if Allah would ever forgive someone for that. Like, that's just that. So most of the people, most of the African Americans who joined the Ahmadiyya movement in the 40s and 50s were pimps and drug dealers and gangsters and thieves, and that's okay. You can join and change, right? So but so I'm telling him I'm not that guy, but I was willing to. So he was like, no, bro, you're not from the street, bro. Oh, because I didn't sell drugs on the street or pimp women or do all types of dumb shit.
You don't meet the standards. You don't meet the
I'm like,
qualifications.
I don't meet the. I'm like, okay, whatever. But I grew up. My dad didn't like working, so we're on the welfare in downtown Pittsburgh in the 80s, in the crack era. So you got to fight. You got to know how to fight. Or I had a brother who never came out the house. You could be that guy too, just never come out the house and be afraid. So I wasn't. I'm on my bike. I got friends in the neighborhood. So and I'm not backing down from anything, especially on my street. This is my street. So that's all I meant. I didn't engage in it. I immediately left when I was 19 and joined the U.S. Air Force. Like, I need to get a job. I need to get some money. My dad hates me because I question the Ahmadiyya movement. When you question the Ahmadiyya movement, they see you as the same people who challenged the Khilafat of Ali.
Like a threat.
And Usman, right?
Yeah.
So that's how they saw me. So as soon as I got my walking papers, and my dad, he never paid me. So anyhow, he starts getting into that. Then he says, oh, I spoke to your dad, and your dad says you don't know Quranic Arabic. And I'm like, well, here we go with this again. You guys tried this stuff a year and a half ago, and it backfired. Because then everyone said, oh, is that a standard? And then they went over their Khalifa's Fatiha. And then there's like 20 errors.
Hey, you know what's funny? Bashir, sorry to cut you up. You know what's funny is like Ibn Tumayya and Bin Qurtubi, they knew better Arabic than these guys from Punjab, bro. You know what I mean? Right. So you're telling me that 14 whatever years of Islamic theology, that all these scholars got it wrong, and Mirza Ghulam Ahmad came and he's the perfect Arabic, intellectual to look up to.
Ridiculous. And he didn't even know Arabic. He couldn't pronounce the ayin.
And I don't know. Maybe I don't want to say something false, but like maybe this is a fact that Nuruddin used to write all his books for him.
He did. He totally.
Yeah. And what's even more scary, bro? Okay, I'll give you an example because we were talking about how these people accuse you of different things. And my dad, bro, he's a very proud Punjabi man. One of those guys. So he doesn't cheat. He doesn't lie. He works hard. So I remember when he first moved up here, bro, our guy then are not the top guys in the Jamaat in our section. These guys were taking welfare and driving cabs, right?
Yeah.
My dad never took a cab, bro. And I remember my dad never went to the meetings or whatever. These guys were like, yo, you're not a Pakka MD, you're not this and that. My dad's like, man, you guys are taking welfare on the side. Like, what are you guys talking about? Like, you guys say you guys are the perfect Muslims and this and that, but like, there's a lot of shady shit that goes on. I don't know if you know about this. I don't know if you know about this case. But there's a guy in Canada. His name is Rana Luqman. He's a Barabbi.
I thought he was about to say Razi. I'm like, bro, come on.
Rana Luqman, yeah.
Rana Luqman, man. This is a very famous case in Canada, bro. He got accused of pedophilia, bro, by the York Regional Police.
Yeah, totally.
And what's scary is that this guy was actually charged for it. And guess what the Jamaat did, bro? They slid it under the carpet, and they gave him a job at the fucking office.
Gave him an office job. They said, hey, bro, you need to come work in the office until this blows over.
And that's what they do, man.
Silly, man.
Some of my relatives tell me that, Rabba, like, there's a lot of like rape cases that go on. But they don't put it out there because they think it's bad. It's bad PR. If you look at a Fortune 500 company, that's what they do. they gotta keep the PR to a low, so they get their funds coming in. Because if you have the members knowing that all this shit is going on, then there's no more funds coming in. There you go, buddy.
Yep. And here's the guy, Rana Lukman. They covered it up and they hit it. He was caught, straight up caught, 2017, child luring and pornography. This is their employee. This
That's
is
right.
their imam. This guy actually is an imam of the Ahmadiyya movement, not like this guy. So that's exactly what it is, bro. In Rabwa, there's a rape culture, and everyone's doing it. All the guys on the top are doing it, and Rabwa's illegal in general. They shouldn't have Rabwa. It should be shut down tomorrow. Their lease should be canceled.
Man, what's really funny is that I know a guy. I'm not gonna say his name, because he still lives out there in the old country. He actually got a really nice job with the government of Pakistan, and it's funny because he went up to the Jamaat guys first and he said, "Can you sign my papers so I can go get a job in the government?" He's like, "No, we're not gonna sign your papers because they consider us non-Muslims." And guess what happened? He got the job regardless. And you know what happened right after? They gave him an award. They're like, "You're representing us," even though they wouldn't sign his job papers because they're like, "Oh well, the government of Pakistan considers." Okay, here's another thing that it's a very thought-provoking thing. You say that we're Ahmadis and we follow the law of the land. The law of the land of Pakistan is that you're a non-Muslim, okay? That you're considered non-Muslim. So if you do respect the law of the land, then respect that law and move on.
Right.
So what do you do? You go to Western governments, Western countries, and you talk shit about the country that raised you.
By the way, guys, Barakallah fikum. Bashir, keep it up, man. I gotta go. Actually, I gotta get to the masjid, man. Inshallah. Yeah, hit me up, man. I'm serious about that, man, because I want to be sure that the Ahmadis don't infest Clubhouse, man, because that's the last thing we need. Because there's a lot of amazing people on Clubhouse, and there's also a lot of shady stuff on Clubhouse as well. And we want to basically stop this before it starts. You get what I'm saying?
Sounds good, brother. I will contact you offline, and,
Awesome,
and it's
man.
good, bro.
Yeah, take care, peeps.
Yeah, all right, brother. Assalamu alaikum, brother.
Assalamu alaikum, bro.
Yeah. Okay, brother Musa. So yeah. Thanks for sharing that. And you're right. Anything that's bad PR, they're gonna hide. They're not gonna be truthful. They're not gonna tell the truth. It's all there's that murder of Dr. Mahdi Ali Qamar. They knew that it was untrue. The story was untrue. They still ran it. Why? Asylum cases.
Bro, even with Dr. Abdul Salam, bro, like it's so funny. One of his best friend was an atheist. He's actually a very famous atheist. I'm not like recognizing his name right now, but he came out and he says like Dr. Abdul Salam used to hide a bottle of whiskey in his desk.
Oh yeah.
And he used to have a wife in Pakistan and he used to have an English wife in England. But when it comes to that standard, okay, well, you know what? He's a hero. We can't put him on the stake. We can crucify the normal members who break the rules, but not our heroes, because that's bad PR for us.
Yep, and his name is Steven Weinberg, and that's the guy he won the Nobel Prize with. And they're just so embarrassed about all of that. So okay, one question, and then we're gonna go to Brother Ali. I think this brother is an ex-Ahmadi, and he's got the former Tabligh channel. He said, "Why did I pick mainstream Islam? What convinced me about Islam?" And maybe he's not a Muslim, so that's okay, brother. You can be whatever you want to be. For me, Islam explained the world properly, like the bees. Why did the bees exist? Why did the insects exist? Why did the fish exist? And it's all to support humans. All of this was made for us. And if you research exoplanets, there's no life on them. Hold on. So, okay, if you go around our solar system, there's no life on any planet. Every single planet has a problem. Every single one. Every single moon has a problem. There's something or the other. Some don't have water. Venus is way too hot. It doesn't have a moon. If you don't have, so it was science that brought me to Islam, and the practicality of Islam. You know, the reason women need to cover up is because men are engineered to like. Women are engineered like that too. You know, and honestly, you got to watch what you listen to. You got to watch because your brain will pick things up. Whatever you see, whatever you hear, whatever you do, psychologically, you're gonna pick that up. So if if um if you simply don't um see these things, you'll be fine. But if you see all these things on a daily basis, it's going to have an effect. So, and we know that with Coca-Cola and Pepsi and Geico and commercials during the Super Bowl. Whatever commercials you see during the Super Bowl, that's what's in your head.
Hey,
So, yeah.
Brother Bashir, this question, it resonates with me too, bro, because I grew up in the West, bro, and it's pretty easy to lose your faith in this land, bro. And the reason why I became a mainstream Muslim or Sunni Muslim is because bro, the rest of this reality, the reality that we live in, everything can be explained by the Quran. Because if you believe that it's by the Creator and the Creator sends you this, and if you look at the Arabic language, right, before the Quran, the Arabs were known for poetry, right? And if I don't know Quranic Arabic, but what I do know is how I can study it through other people who have studied in the past. And if you look at this language, it's the most beautiful language. It can't be matched by any other language in the world. Even mainstream people who study language can say that. I mean, if you look at the basic surah, like Surah Baqarah, if you look at that, it's a ring composition, bro.
Yeah,
It's
and with the Quran, it's not just the beauty of what's in it, it's the sound. And
exactly
there's
because it's
no other religion that has a
no,
sound like that.
exactly.
You know, and much respect to Hinduism, Sikhism, et cetera, et cetera. There's nothing like that Arabic. And like some of my friends listen to like Arabic music, and I'll hear it and I'll be like, oh, that is just captivating. That
Yeah.
just like I guess there's pop stars. I guess in Lebanon because it's Arab, they speak Arabic, but a lot of them are Christian, and et cetera, et cetera. It's just a captivating language. Um, and it's not the mother of all languages. Mirza Ghulam Ahmad was wrong. Um, so yeah, brother, there's just so many reasons. Like, where do I start? You know, the fact that species are not allowed to mate with each other. A dog and a cat can't mate with each other. That kills the theory of evolution. Because how do we come from fish then? You see what I mean? It's just not possible. You know, a tiger and a lion can have a kid together called a liger, right? But the liger can't have other kids. You know, same thing with the mule. So there's so many reasons. We don't really have time for that because I'm trying to get out of here. We're already at 37 minutes. I'm gonna go to Brother Ali for the final thoughts, and then that's it. Brother Ali, are you there?
Assalamu alaikum, brother. I know it's very late for me. You guys been talking on various different topics. I don't know what particular thoughts you want me to share with you.
Well, let me brief you real quick. So I bumped into this brother here. His name is Bashir Abdul Haqq. He's on Facebook, and he claims to be an Ahmadiyya Imam, which is not true. But he wanted to discuss with me. He wanted to have a debate. And I told him I don't do debates. So that messed him up. He didn't know what answer to give to that. So I asked him to discuss a justice for Nida. He was like, "Nope, I can't do it." And I was like, okay, well, what can you discuss? Like, only the alleged death of Eisa. And I'm like, here we go again. That's all these guys want to talk about. Then they don't want to share information. They got their talking points, and they're taught just go give your talking points. And that's all they're there to do. So they're robots. They don't think for themselves, right? So that's sort of the story. Here's
well, I I don't blame them because they are one trick pony. You see, they only know they're one trick pony, or you can say it, trained monkeys. They can do only certain tricks, and that's it. That's what they learn in their jamia.
right.
They have nothing to discuss.
They got
If you
nothing.
see,
Yeah, totally.
exactly.
Totally.
If
So
if you ask them something out of their, main tricks, they can't perform. They're useless. They can't even use a common sense.
yeah, can't. So I asked him, hey, have you read Sir Syed Ahmad Khan? He was like, nope.
He probably
And
doesn't know.
he doesn't even know who he is. And he's a black nationalist. I was like, wait, you're a black nationalist type? Ahmadiyya movement supported the colonists and the colonizing of India, the
Yeah.
colonization of Africa. How are you with them? How does this make any sense? You know, and what
Maybe he
the
got
entire
maybe he got hand pump at home.
no, he got converted to Ahmadiyya by Azhar Haneef, who's in my
Right.
photo, by a
Yeah.
black Ahmadi from America. He was impressed with, and that's the story. You know, he didn't do years of homework. He didn't do the proper amount of homework that was needed to make a decision. He just did it on emotion, you know. And that guy in Ireland, Noonan, said the same thing. He didn't spend 5 years trying to read. He made an emotional decision, and that's the
Oh,
problem.
don't talk about Ibrahim Nonan. I know him. He
I've met
used to
him.
be our Sadr Khudamul Ahmadiyya at that time. This guy used to be a bartender and a bouncer in one of the London clubs,
Yeah,
and he bumped into some Ahmadi girls, and he had affair. Now she became his wife, and I know his brother-in-law Zahir. I'm not afraid to mention his name. He became Murabbi now.
wow.
I know. I know a lot
That's
more
trend
details,
line.
but I don't want to go in more deeper.
Yeah,
But if you
so
see,
that's my issue. That's my issue
yeah,
with all these guys. I've spent 17 years, wrote 2,200 essays, did the homework that no one else even wants to do. That's
yeah,
how I got to where I'm at. So when I see guys who are going off what they were told in a general meeting 10 years ago, and they didn't double check, they didn't triple check, they didn't quadruple check, I'm gonna say, bro, there's a problem. My methodology is different than yours, much different. And you know, my dad and brother, they used to get mad at me. They're like, why are you going so in depth? Why? I'm like, that's what you're supposed to do. You know, before 2000, it was hard to go in depth because you'd have to have the books and spend so much time. Now it's all digital, you know. And so this guy, he admitted that his library is not digital. I was like, bro, if you don't have a searchable PDF of every book you're reading, you're lost, man.
Bro,
You're
they're
lost.
changing. They're changing the pages
Yeah. Oh
around.
yeah. Oh yeah. They're
And
changing the pages. They're doing also. If you have a PDF, it's different, and if you're working with a computer, it's different because you're not going to get fooled as easily. Um,
while I was searching for one reference, you just reminded me the one thing. One of our brother, he reminded me one reference. Used to be in Siratul Mehdi when Mirza had uneven teeth, and he had problem with his teeth. They used some kind of they call it reti, yeah, to level up his teeth. So I can't find in a recent edition of Siratul Mehdi, but somewhere in the older versions I couldn't find. Well, that's what they do. They remove all these references, and even sometimes they remove whole paragraphs. And today I was looking into tafsir of, let me tell you, Surah Nisa, verses number 15. And I was looking into tafsir, what Mirza said about, that particular ayah.
yeah,
And if you see, there is a no tafsir for that particular ayah.
as we know, and you
So
know,
they pick and choose.
right, right,
And
right,
Mirza used to do the same thing.
right. And I used to ask that question. I was like, how come Mirza Ghulam Ahmad didn't go through all the hadiths and grade them and say this one is this one is this? He didn't.
Yeah.
As a prophet, as the Messiah, this is what he should have been doing. Instead, he wrote about the same topics over and over again. If you go through his books, it's the same thing
Yeah.
over and over and over again. So anyhow,
Yeah, Brother Afzal and myself, we were, in a conversation, and I was showing him, look, they skip all verses and they select what they want to, translate or explain in details. So they been very selective, pick and choose in those verses or surahs. Yeah.
Yeah,
Go
brother.
ahead with other friends.
Yeah,
So
so
I'm around.
and then we're gonna wrap it up because we're
Yeah.
coming up on 45 minutes. Brother Tawfiq, what do you have to say, brother?
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam, brother. How's it going, brother?
Everything is good. Just want to ask something like, what's the relationship between, these cults, right? Like Baha'i cult and Ahmadiyya. What's the relationship between them and homosexuality?
I think that's outside of the scope of this video. I can do another video on that, but specifically, I don't know about Baha'ism and homosexuality, and that's okay. If anyone's gay, I don't care. You can do whatever you want. But in the Ahmadiyya movement, it's rampant, and it could be rampant. I don't care, But the problem is they're raping young boys like the Catholic Church.
Right.
So
happens.
that's the problem.
It
When they
happens
start raping-
during the Isma, bro. I know of a personal case. It was a Isma, and one of my friends was in a tent, and he saw some of these things that happens, but they rub it under the carpet. Because obviously, it's easy to fool Pakistani people, bro. It's very easy, especially those people down there, man. It's so easy because they're very emotional people, man. But like people growing up in the West, it's very hard to brainwash them because they're exposed to so much information.
right.
And the fact of the matter is like, even talking about homosexuality, like obviously we know in Islam it's not allowed. It's very frowned upon. Especially, I actually met Ibrahim Noonan. I actually met him, and I met his son too. And it's funny because Ibrahim Noonan's son he's a totally non-religious guy. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Obviously, that's his life and whatever. I'm not gonna judge the man.
Yeah, I'm sorry
But
to, my specific, point was not
Yeah.
homosexuality in general.
Tawfiq, can you hold on a sec? Sorry about that, brother Musa. Continue.
yeah, no problem. No, I'm just saying, brother. Like a lot of these guys, man, especially in the West here, especially like the white guys, the black guys, it's a trend now. Is that get these guys in the Jamaat? Obviously, increase the chanda payments. You gotta pay for that expensive Mercedes. Gotta pay for those those nice houses in England, in Islamabad. And what I feel like is, we as Muslims, we shouldn't be afraid of these people. And the problem of the matter is that a lot of Muslims in the West, we're so politically correct now, is that we're sugarcoating our religion to sell to the white man.
Yeah.
And it's a big trend here in the West, especially. A lot of Ahmadi girls are getting married to white guys because they converted. You're gonna have that mirror go to some people's houses. They're gonna say, okay, we have a young brother. He's white. He just joined our corporation. We gotta get them payments in. So you ready to give your daughter up?
Yep. That's exactly what it is. Well, brother, we've been going for 48 minutes. With that being said, I'm gonna
Brother
end it.
Bashir, would
Yeah,
I?
Ali.
Yeah, one of our friend here, Tawfiq, he asked a question. I can partly answer if you want me.
No, and I just showed a picture of Ibrahim Noonan. Look, they don't allow men to shake hands with women at the Ahmadiyya function, but Noonan, he's allowed to do anything he wants.
Well, he has a past experience, so he can.
Right. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that is all we have. Assalamu alaikum and peace out.
Allah Hafiz, brother.